Hi there. In this video we're going to talk about what form responses look like in Slate when they're pushed from Gecko. So we've got a very simple campus booking tour form here, which is going to allow students to choose a date of campus tour that they're interested in attending. It's going to capture some basic information: name, email, year of entry, nationality, anticipated major, and so on and so forth. Now, the important thing to note is that although this is a simple booking form, you can have the most complex forms you can imagine that span pages and pages and pages and hundreds of questions and still have absolutely all of that information pull back and filter back into Slate. It's very simple to do. The long and the short of it is that when you can choose and customize precisely which fields and in what format the data is going to be exported into Slate, and then once it's in Slate using the source format, which is pre-configured, you can tell Slate this particular piece of data from Gecko, put it here, and put it here. If needs be, you can map the same piece of information to multiple fields. So in theory, absolutely anything in Gecko could be used to update absolutely anything in Slate, from the activity timeline and having that rich interaction data to updating certain fields. To keep it a bit less wild and a bit more pragmatic, in this video we're going to imagine that from our campus booking tool form here, we want to set up an export so that we're going to push over information which is going to update the student contact record, but we also, really importantly, would like an interaction on the timeline saying that this form was filled in at this date at this time, etc. So how do we do that? Really simply, we are on our booking form right now. We're going to go to Actions and we're going to choose Export Responses. You can see that our form is already selected, and we can come down to the filter section and we can choose, we can tell Gecko export everyone who has ever filled in this form, or anyone beyond a certain date range, or indeed anyone in the last hour. And again, for the sake of this video, we're going to say we only want people who have filled this in the last hour. So the information is almost instantaneous. It's always going to be pushed across Slate, straight to Slate as soon as we have it. Crucially, we can tell Gecko then to create a custom export, and this is where we can choose to configure any of the information we want. So I'd like to push across the name, I'd like to push across the email, I'd like to push across which campus tour they're booked onto, their nationality, let's choose the year of entry as well, and it's really up to you to choose whatever information you'd like to push. Now, really excitingly as well, you have the ability to include metadata, which is going to come in really soon into the proceedings. We can tell Gecko the response meta fields allow us to provide information which is really important to update the timeline in a really useful way. So for instance, we can say this is the time and the date that this interaction took place, that the form response came in. We can even choose, if you are choosing to use our offline app, if you've captured this at a fair, you can choose the event this was captured at, who it was captured by, so which member of your team was logged into the app when this was captured. But you can also include UTM information, so if you're sharing the form using certain parameters across different places like Facebook or Twitter, or wherever, you can track that information. So again, it's going to update various bits of information. Finally, if this is a web form, we do track IPs based on form submission, so you've also got an idea of where roughly in the world the student is when they fill this in, which can be useful for helping decipher, based on IP address and the like, the various profile of the student we're trying to engage with. Anyway, the important thing is, once you've built up the tapestry of precisely the information you want to update, the activity, timeline, interaction, that's the word I was looking for, and the student record itself, all we need to do then is tell Gecko this particular form response, let's export it hourly, here's the details of the Slate SFTP server, hit export, get everything configured on the Slate side, which doesn't take long at all, about 5 to 10 minutes tops, and you have set that up to work absolutely seamlessly.